Okay, let's begin with our top focus this evening. Pakistan's biggest lie has now been exposed, and it's the United Nations that has blown the lid of Islamabad's Dawood cover-up. Now, the United Nations has confirmed that India's most wanted terrorist and underworld don, Dawood Ibrahim, does live in Pakistan. A panel set up by the UN Security Council's Al-Qaida Sanctions Committee has verified Dawood's 6 Karachi addresses. The addresses were part of the dossier that was submitted by India. India, in fact, had submitted a list of 9 addresses of Dawood Ibrahim. The UN panel has found 6 of them genuine. What is more, one of the addresses is found to be similar to that of a residence of Islamabad's envoy to the UN, Maliha Lodi, and that, in fact, address has now been rectified. India had cited the 9 addresses as those frequented by Dawood Ibrahim. Pakistan has consistently denied that Dawood has been living in the country. Joining me now is Gaurav Sawant, our senior news editor from the newsroom. Gaurav, first of all, as far as those 6 addresses are concerned, this definitely vindicates India's stand, which is for longest time trying to tell Pakistan that hand over Dawood Ibrahim.
India wants Dawood Ibrahim to be handed over to face prosecution for the 1993 Mumbai blast, in which 257 people were massacred and over 700 injured. Now, the UN committee carried out investigations, and they have found that 6 of the addresses are correct. 3 of the addresses are incorrect. And this is ample evidence of Dawood Ibrahim's existence living in Pakistan. That's point 1, Smita. And point 2, you cover Pakistan extensively. Dawood has massive business interests in Pakistan. These are not just residential addresses, but also Dawood's business interests in Pakistan. And there is evidence of Dawood running a multi-billion-dollar property business, land holdings, transport business, all of that. Now Pakistan, in the right earnest, should actually investigate.
Okay.
Will it do so? Remains to be seen.
But Gaurav, what are we also in fact picking up? Mr. Raj Qadian is joining us on the phone line. So before I come back to you, let me go into Mr. Raj Qadian. In fact, he's a defense expert as well. Sir, how do you look at this development? Because these addresses now stand verified by the United Nations itself.
The issues involved are twofold. First is the evidence against Pakistan. There has been a plethora of evidence submitted in the past and continues to be submitted against Pakistan's deep involvement in sponsoring terror attacks against India. Dawood Ibrahim was the mastermind of the serial Bombay blast in March 1993 that lost 257 lives and more than 700 were injured. Dawood Ibrahim's hand was clear in that. He was assisted by 2 of his minions, Yaqub and Tiger Manon. One of them has already been hanged.
So how can India really now go forward, armed with this latest proof? What are the options before India at this point in time?
India should align the international community, both politically and diplomatically, to put pressure on Pakistan to hand over the people who are sheltered in Pakistan and who've been guilty of terror attacks in India. That is the first part. The second part is Pakistan's likely response. Knowing their past history, knowing the fact that it is not the non-state actors, as they keep touting about, who are involved in terror attacks, it is very much the state machinery that is involved. If they hand over, any one of them is going to spill the beans. And that will be a doomed scenario for Pakistan. Therefore, there is a foregone conclusion that Pakistan will deny it. They will not accept the fact. They will question the United Nations body's impartiality. Whatever it is at his disposal, they will continue to deny.
Stay with us. Let me try and get an update from Gaurav. Gaurav, have you heard from our Ministry of External Affairs yet as to how are they planning to take this forward? What is in fact India's permanent representative to the UN, Syed Akbaruddin, going to do about this? And any reactions from Islamabad so far?
None so far, but India has repeatedly raised Pakistan sponsoring terror in India and fugitives from law in India living in Pakistan. It's not just Dawood Ibrahim. You well know there's a list of 20 that India has repeatedly submitted to Pakistan in a number of dossiers that India has given to Pakistan. But sadly, Pakistan has taken absolutely no action. And this time, since the tension between India and Pakistan is centered around Pakistan supporting terrorism in Jammu and Kashmir, India has made it very clear talks will proceed only when Pakistan stops sponsoring terror in Jammu and Kashmir and stops inciting passions in J&K. So it remains to be seen how this is taken forward.
Right, Lieutenant General Qadian, before I let you go, just final question. As you said that perhaps Pakistan will try and deny, but doesn't the deniability sort of, they have denied the presence of somebody like even Osama bin Laden in the past. In this case, though, these addresses are on paper. So what really, are the chances that they can get away with denial at this point?
The various pieces of evidence that have been submitted by India against Pakistan in the past have been blindingly clear. They have been convincing proofs. But that is only one part of the story. Second part is Pakistan admitting it. The regime that is running in Pakistan will make sure, because if they do that, then they're exposing themselves.
Right.
Dawood Ibrahim is hiding there under the shelter of the state authorities. He is not a fugitive. He is not hiding without the knowledge of the state authorities. Therefore, if he is extradited and he is made to spill the beans, you get the clear evidence of Pakistan's involvement. So
Okay.
Pakistan will not be cutting our own feet. They will not accept.
Okay, we'll leave it there. Lieutenant General Qadian, many thanks for joining us on the broadcast. But we also, in fact, have a reaction coming in from senior, counsel, Mr. Ujjwal Nikam. Let's try and listen into it first.
Long-standing claim that Dawood Ibrahim is taking shelter in the Pakistan and Pakistan is protecting on their soil, that has been ventilated by the UN panel. Now, UN panel has confirmed his addresses which were provided by the India. Now, let me tell you very frankly, the name of Dawood Ibrahim was for the first time revealed in the terrorist activities in the 1993 Bombay bomb blast case. I have conducted that case. And I have examined two such witnesses who in fact have participated in the criminal conspiracy which was held in Dubai much prior to 12th March 93. Now these two witnesses have deposed on oath because they were the approvers in the state witnesses, and they categorically stated on oath as to how Dawood Ibrahim had guided Tiger Memon and other people to smuggle RDX into India. Dawood Ibrahim had used his smuggling channel for exploding the bombs on the night of the 12th March 93. These two witnesses have further given one more important revelation, that the said meeting of the conspiracy meeting, which was attended by Tiger Memon and his brothers and others, was also attended by 3 Pakistani nationals. Who were those Pakistani nationals? These two witnesses were not knowing. But the witnesses categorically said that our group, consisting of about 14 to 15 people, who had visited Pakistan, who had undergone the training in handling the sophisticated weapons, and these 3 Pakistani people who attended a conspirator meeting had made their arrangement so that they could not have been checked at any other places in the Pakistan.
Okay, let's also cut across to Islamabad. Mr. Tariq Pirzada, who is a defense and security expert, now joins us from Islamabad. Mr. Pirzada, following this UN Security Council, in fact, the panel report, is there any doubt now that Dawood Ibrahim is not in Pakistan?
Actually, there are more doubts than ever before. This report that you are talking about has no authenticity. The Indian influence at the United Nations, as well as the backing of the United States, this is all there. A lot of, unverifiable.
Mr. Pirzada, there are 3 addresses that have been corrected or said that these are incorrect. 6 addresses have been confirmed. How can you completely dismiss off the UN Sanctions Committee panel?
Number one, I dismiss the U.S. report as frivolous. Number one, how can what are the sources of United Nations to confirm any address that you say that is allegedly of the Dawood Ibrahim in Karachi? Why would, let me ask you one
Mr.
thing.
Pirzada, it's very convenient.
Simple.
The very UN that Pakistan continuously wants to go to with the Kashmir issue, you would like to dismiss off their panel when their report does not suit you.
Can I make the point? I mean, you asked me to express my opinion. Remember one thing. Whenever that we have a criminal in any country, that criminal cannot be such a stupid person that he would be leaving the marks of his residence and with full addresses, and those addresses could be obtained easily by agencies like United Nations. If that is the way to operate in the world of crime, I think
we are a bunch of guys who are not.
Okay, Mr. Pirzada, of course, you have a right to your opinion, and perhaps the Pakistan government's denial will also not be very surprising if it comes through along similar lines. But Pakistan's lies have been nailed even in the past, even with somebody like an Osama bin Laden. Many thanks for having joined us on this broadcast.